Hey everybody, how you doing today? Just got off work on my way home, making another video. Life is as it is. Today is the important day. It is Joe Biden's inauguration as President of these United States of the Americas. I think a lot of the feedback that I'm getting from all of this is a general sense of celebration. People are pretty happy to see Donald Trump go. And I'll be straight with you, I'm happy to see Donald Trump go. I'm happy to see America turn the channel on Donald Trump. So, the big question for me, moving forward, is what's next for America? And, I mean, I'm sorry to be the wet towel and the wet blanket on this conversation, but really, the truth is that it's going to be much of the same, right? That Joe Biden has literally, gone on the record and said nothing will fundamentally change. His defeat of Bernie Sanders in the Democratic primary came with this sort of sentiment of we want things to go back to normal, without the self-awareness or the realization that back to normal is exactly how we ended up with Trump in the first place. And Joe Biden has stacked his cabinet with pro-business, pro-capitalist, like Wall Street executives. I think one of the starkest is that his Minister of Labor is a former Amazon CEO, right? And this is a crucial time for Amazon workers as they're starting to unionize warehouses, as they're starting to move and organize themselves, that it's very telling for them to look at who are they going to be negotiating with? Who are they going to be working with? What politicians are they going to be talking to? Oh, it's their class enemy, the person that they're actually fighting with, who has the power to draw up legislation and make power happen. I think that Americans and Canadians and Europeans and everybody in the world is duping themselves if we say that a Joe Biden presidency is exactly what we need right now. Because the Democrats are not going to analyze, they're not going to take a look at what led to the rise of Trump, because ultimately, as I say about the conservatives and the liberals here in Canada, the Republicans and the Democrats work for the same people, right? They're interested in the same goals. They're interested in personal wealth for themselves, and they're going to kowtow to, Raytheon, all the arms dealers, the Wall Street people, right? They're not going to help the working class. I mean, for goodness sakes, Joe Biden is just a continuation of the Obama years, which is itself just a continuation of the Clinton years, which is a total disaster for a vast majority of the working class. There's a reason Trump manifests, right? There's a reason he shows up. It's not a one-off. It's not because he's just this goofy guy that a bunch of idiots and racists got behind. It's because for decades, the power structure in America has allied itself with corporate power and has abandoned huge swaths of the working class. And along came Donald Trump and said, hey, these guys are all idiots. I'm going to go in there and drain the swamp. Right? And it didn't matter that he was a liar. It didn't matter that he was insincere, right? People got behind him simply because he was saying, well, fuck all this. Screw these guys. Screw these losers, right? These losers, they keep making stupid decisions and they keep hurting ordinary people. And so people got behind Donald Trump. A lot of people, right? Joe Biden didn't win by landslide victories. Right? Joe Biden won by threadbare margins that could have gone the other way. And lots of critical analysis into the polling shows if it hadn't been for the coronavirus, we'd probably still have Donald Trump as our president. If it hadn't been for the coronavirus and Trump's mishandling of the coronavirus, we probably still would have Donald Trump as the president. And so now, moving forward, Joe Biden has stacked his cabinet with the classic capitalist people, right? Not any different than the Obama years, not any different than the Clinton years, right? Which are years of total abandonment for the working class. So we should expect to see more of that, right? His vice president is like a cop, basically, in the middle of Black Lives Matter protests. Like, what do you think that's going to look like? Like, do you think that's going to be, a negotiation where we're trying to work with Black Lives Matter people, or do you think it's going to be a police state, right? I think, I mean, I know what it's going to be. You guys can pretend like you don't, if you'd like. I mean, for goodness sakes, Joe Biden writes the crime bill, right? Like, we're in this sort of ridiculous period of time where we're supposed to be celebrating the defeat of this narcissistic idiot, while at the same time believing that, oh, well, things are going to improve. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. What's definitely true is that if things don't improve for the vast majority of Americans, very quickly, right? Very quickly, if things don't improve, then the next opportunity, like, these Trump supporters didn't disappear. They didn't vanish. They didn't suddenly go away. Donald Trump went away. They didn't go away. And if their conditions don't improve, if they even stay how they are now, forget about continuing to decline, but if they stay as they are now, then 4 years from now, the person that these people elect, right, is going to be extremely dangerous, okay? And is going to be, like, just imagine a Donald Trump type figure who didn't just antagonize everybody, right? Imagine an actual politician who is actually astute, because what Donald Trump has shown is a clear path to the presidency, right? Is a clear path, what you need to do in order to become the president of the United States, and it almost worked again. And he's like a boob, right? Imagine like an actual, like, smooth-talking, handsome, well-spoken, well-educated, articulate, calm, compassionate-seeming, right, politician. Imagine somebody like that who's willing to work with people, who's willing to put forward. Like, imagine someone like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, okay? Like, we're talking about, if the material conditions of Americans don't improve, we are talking about America plunging itself into at least a 4-year period of open, overt fascism. Which, I mean, Joe Biden's not that far off of it. He played his part, right? Joe Biden played his part. And if he doesn't work to improve the actual living conditions of his citizens, that's exactly where America's heading. And I mean, the Democrats are only going to have themselves to blame. Because here's what's real. Like, the Democrats they have the House, they have the Senate, they have the presidency. They don't need to work with the Republicans, right? They don't need to do unity, right? None of that needs to happen. They don't need to reach across the aisle. They don't need to do any of that. They can pass whatever legislation they would like right now for the next 2 years. That's going to be the case. And so for the last, like, 12 years, for the last, even longer than that, 14 years. For the last 14 years, Democrats have been able to say, oh, these Republicans are getting in our way, and oh, these Republicans, these the Republicans, they're the problem. Well, that's done. That narrative is over. The Democrats have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They can do whatever they would like. The last time they had the House, the Senate, the presidency, the first 2 years of the Obama administration. Now, this is actually a problem for the Democrats, right? Because they want to be able to scapegoat the Republicans. They want to be able to look at the Republicans and say, it's the Republicans' fault. It certainly has nothing to do with the fact that we agree with the Republicans and have no intention of passing this legislation in the first place. So now they need to come up with an excuse why they're not passing this legislation. What Obama did in his first 2 years is deceive the populace by pretending, we need to pursue unity and all of this, so we're going to reach across the aisle and have these big, long conversations with Republicans. That's going to take a long time and do a lot of stuff. oh yeah, we can't pass this legislation because if we pass this legislation without the Republicans say so, then when they get in power, they'll just regress it, and so we've got to work with the Republicans and blah blah blah, and then set up a committee and do a second reading, and we've got to analyze the third paragraph of sentence B. Should this period be a comma? Should this comma be a period? What about a semicolon? Waste as much time as possible. So that when those 2 years end and then either the House or the Senate swings back towards the Republicans, the Democrats can just go, those Republicans, they're the reason. Everything's, and the alliance that it clearly exists between the Republicans and the Democrats continues to protect corporate power, which is what they do. And so Joe Biden is either going to play that game, right, which is obvious. A child can see through it now. Like, Obama literally did it in front of us, and we all just went, oh, Obama, I guess he's trying to help, yeah, because we're a bunch of suckers. But I think what's far more likely, and the gift that the Trump administration has actually given the Democrats in this regard, is that Joe Biden can start doing some actual hearings to rout the fascists that exist in the Republican Party, right? He can launch some straight up tribunals. He can launch all kinds of stuff, and that kind of thing is going to make huge headlines and be huge news, right? Moreover, people will be happy to see it, right? People will be more than happy to see that. Are you kidding me? Joe Biden going after fascists? Absolutely, right? Think about the propaganda the Democratic Party can put out. Joe Biden fighting fascists. Like, absolutely, this is a wise decision for them to pursue, and they should absolutely do it, because while they're doing that, they can just continue to do fuck all, right? They can just continue to crush the working class. They can continue to spread the concentration camps that Obama built and then Donald Trump used. They can continue deporting people. They can continue building and erecting the police state that people are fighting against right now, right? This is the thing with the Black Lives Matter movement, and that people who are against the Black Lives Matter movement don't seem to kind of understand, is that, or they do understand, they just don't care, is that America is pretty much a police state, right? The things that it does to people overseas, it is going to bring home and do to its own citizens, right? That's what happens. That's history, right? If you are constantly going across the globe and you are constantly conquering, stealing resources, invading other people, fomenting coups, doing all of that kind of activity, it is only a matter of time until you start doing it to your own citizens. And that is exactly what we are witnessing here, right? America's been doing that kind of global adventurism for 50 years, if not longer, right? We're talking like 80 years. 80 years of going around the globe destroying other nations and all that kind of stuff. It's going to come home to roost. And that is what we're looking at right now. And the Democrats have an opportunity right now to pull up on this. They have an opportunity. They could do very simple things, right? Raise the minimum wage. There you go. That right there would alleviate a lot of difficulty. Pass a basic income. There you go. That would do a lot. But these are things that the Democrats are not going to do, and they're not going to pursue because their corporate masters don't want them to. And in 4 years' time, you wait, mark my words, in 4 years' time, we're going to get a Republican that is an outright, over-the-top fascist, and he's going to be the leader of the free world. He's going to have his finger on the button, right? Okay, this is the end of me, guys. Like, share, subscribe. If you've made it to this point, please make sure you subscribe if you are not subscribed. I'm trying to get this channel up to 1,000 subscribers. That's when I can start monetizing. This is what I do every single day. Imagine what I could do if I made this my full-time job. I work full-time at a toy store. Imagine what I could do if this was my full-time job instead. Please like. That's free. Anybody can do that. Just hit the like button. Just bing, a little like. And share it around. Show it to your friends. Show it to your neighbors. Show this channel to everybody. Right. This is a lightning rod of leftist thought, and we gotta make this kind of stuff happen. Oh hey, and if you really really mean it, right? And if you really really want to support me, my Patreon's down in the down in the description. Boy, would that ever make my day, guys. Okay, I love you all. You're all doing really wonderfully. You really are. These are dark days that we're living in, and we need each other now more than ever. Good luck. we're going to need it.